Welcome! In today's video, I would like to give you 3 ideas that you can use your scrap wood for. If you do a lot of projects around the house, you end up with this big pile of wood scraps. So let's put them to good use. 1, a desk plaque, just made out of a 2x4. Here's an old picket fence, turned into a cross plaque. And 3, a wall hanger, different sizes, and it's made out of trim. So come along with me and let me show you how I made these 3 simple projects. They're great for gifts or maybe even selling at a craft show.
Project number 1, the little desk plaque. I started out by cutting the scrap 2x4 into sections. Mostly they were 4 inches, but there was a couple of pieces that were 3 inches. I put a base coat of paint on each of the blocks. It was just black and flat. For the face of the little desk mount, I'm going to use a paper transfer technique. It works best with chalk paint because the chalk paint absorbs the ink better. So on the base of the little blocks, I'm going to go back and paint it with white. Now that the black base coat is completely dry, I'm taking my chalk paint and painting each of the faces white. It took about 3 coats to completely cover, but the chalk paint allows the ink to absorb better. This technique is pretty simple. All you need is a inkjet printer and some Mod Podge. After reversing my graphic, I just printed it out. I cut it to size for the little blocks. Going to apply a generous portion of Mod Podge to the block, then place the graphic onto the block, making sure all the bubbles are completely out. You'll let that dry, usually overnight. Then you'll go back and remove the paper using water. Now for the magic. You need to apply water to your graphic, either using your finger, the small glass of water, or a damp rag. Then you want to lightly rub the graphic until the paper is gone and you see your ink shine through. Be careful if you add too much water and rub on your ink that it will rub off. So this takes a little time and a little patience, but the results are amazing. Don't worry if your graphic looks a little cloudy. After it completely dries, you'll add your protective coat of polyurethane, and that will make the color look more vibrant. After sanding around the edges and lightly over the top, I added a base coat of polyurethane and the project was complete. I found 2 fence pickets laying in the corner. They were pretty dirty, so after cleaning them off, I cut them down to 10-inch strips. But of course, you could make them any size you would like. For my base coat, I just took some white paint and dry brushed it on my board. The boards were pretty rough, so after my base coat, I just took my sander and lightly sanded around the corners, edges to give it a softer appearance. But I paid a little closer attention to that right bottom corner because I'm going to apply a stencil. To cut down on the bleed through with the stencil, the surface needs to be as flat as it can be. For my cross, I just took some twine that I think I got from Lowe's. I use it for a bunch of different projects and wrapped it along my board. To begin with, to stabilize it, I put one staple on the back and then begin to wrap. Wrapping the cross took a little time, but after I got it the way I wanted it to look, I anchored it in the back with a few staples. Now for my nails. I got these nails from Amazon. I need them to look old, so I did a rust technique using vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and salt. Place your objects in a bowl, cover it with vinegar, let it set for at least 15 minutes. I probably let mine set longer because I just poured the vinegar on, went about my business cleaning my house, and then come back for the next step. Step 2. After you pour the vinegar off, cover your objects with hydrogen peroxide. Same wait time, at least 15 minutes. You can already start to see the magic. Third step, while they're still wet, add a generous portion of salt and then just wait. Like I said, I just applied these steps, went about my other projects, and then came back. Here's the end results. I did spray some polyurethane over the nails to protect and keep the rust from getting everywhere. Now for the stencil. I just used my Cricut machine and cut out my stencil. To cut down on the bleed through, I applied a coat of polyurethane before I added my paint. This helped some, but the boards were so rough even after sanding that I still had a little bleed through. Project number 3, I had some trim left over from a bathroom remodel. So I just took that trim, didn't really worry about the sizes, and made some wall plaques. The trim was already white, so I didn't have to worry about a base coat, but I wanted to be able to hang the plaques. So I just took a drill bit and cut a couple of holes so that I could hang the plaques. I wanted to distress the little plaque, so I just took a simple candle that I got from the dollar store and rubbed it around the edges and in the areas where I wanted to distress. After my black paint was completely dried, I just took a hand block sander and lightly sanded over my piece. Using the wax makes it a lot easier to distress. Now for my stencil. I'm using Chalk Couture stencils. I like using these stencils because they have a sticky back, they have a mesh over the words, the bleed through is minimal. After looping the twine through the holes that I had drilled, the little wall hanger was done. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has inspired you to do a upcycle project of your own.